Hello and welcome to Excellence Link Academy. For today, we're going to be continuing what we discussed in our previous video, which is known as binomial theorem for rational or negative index. We solved a question that was 1 over 1 minus x. So after expansion, we derived an answer. So for today, we're going to be considering this question. They said find the first 4 terms of the expansion this. So I know I need to express this in form of indices. So by solution, I'll have this. So I know if I express this in indices, I'll have 1 plus x to the power of what? 1 over 2. Right? From the idea of indices, if I have root a, that becomes what? A is to the power 1 over 2. So from this idea, I apply it to this. So now, I haven't gotten to this stage. For this, I'm adding a positive sign. So the idea is that I'll apply the formula to the binomial rational negative index that has positive sign, which is what is given by 1 plus t to the power of n is equal to 1 plus nt plus n into n minus 1 t squared over 2 factorial plus n into n minus 1 n minus 2 t cubed over 3 factorial. In our previous video, we discussed about factorial. We said factorial is the multiplication of consecutive terms in descending order such that each term differs from the previous by 1 until 1. So now let's equate. I'll equate this with this to get my t and n. So if I'm equating 1 plus x to the power of 1 over 2 to this man here, 1 plus t to the power of n. So I will get my n. My n there is what? 1 over 2, and my x is given to be what? My t rather. T is given to be what? X. So I will substitute value. That becomes 1 plus, this is n, and n is 1 over 2. That becomes 1 over 2 into t is x. I have x. This is the positive sign. Plus this n, and n is 1 over 2. That becomes 1 over 2 into 1 over 2 minus 1. T is x, x squared over 2 factorial plus n is 1 over 2. 1 over 2 into 1 over 2 minus 1 into 1 over 2 minus 2 s cubed over 3 factorial. Right? So at this stage, if I work on this, I'll be having 1 plus x over 2 plus 1 over 2 into 1 over 2 minus 1. I will have minus 1 over 2 into x squared into x squared, right? So over 2 factorial plus 1 over 2 into minus 1 over 2. Of course, if I have 1 over 2 minus 1, that becomes minus 1 over 2 into that should be minus 3 over 2 s cubed over 3 factorial. 1 over 2 minus 2 becomes minus 3 over 2. So minus 3 over 2 s cubed. Now at this stage, if I simplify, I'll be having 1 plus x over 2 plus, here's the idea please. 1 multiplied by minus 1 is what? Minus 1. 2 times 2 becomes 4. So I will have minus 1 over 4 into x squared, right? that becomes 1. You know we're having 1 here. 1 multiplied by x squared becomes x squared, right? So over 2 factorial. 2 factorial is 2 because we said 2 factorial is equal to 2 times 1, which is what? 2. So that becomes 2 plus 1 over 2 into minus 1 times minus 3 becomes 3. 2 times 2 becomes 4. That becomes 3 over 4 x cubed over 6. We said 3 factorial is simply 3 times 2 times 1, that is 6. So I have 6 here. Right? So next up, if I proceed, I will have 1 plus x over 2 minus, if I express this in fractional form, so such that I will apply the law of reciprocal, I will be having x over 8. 4 times 2 is 8. 8x over 8, rather x squared over 8. Yeah, x squared over 8 plus 1 times 3, that becomes 3. 2 times 4, that becomes 8. Right? That becomes 8. This is my 8. X cubed, this x cubed over 6. This multiplies this. I'll have 48. So that becomes 1 plus x over 2 minus x squared over 8 plus 3s power 3 over, this time it becomes what? 48. So there's my answer to that question. And perhaps you can also choose what to divide this. So thanks for watching.